Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and we are back with another series of stocks in review, as well as what is currently going on in the market, in particular the NASDAQ, as well as lastly how I turned $85 into $335 in a single trade today. Now, just to start us off, I do want to say that a trend that has been occurring really over the course of the past 3 months in particular is the fact that most of the moves that the market is making, and I say market as a whole, are happening really off of overnight action, which is something that traditionally we haven't seen. The reason that I highlight that is because, as you can see, the market today, when at open, we were at 327.77, give or take 328.03, and at the end of the day, we really only finished right at 80 cents above that. However, we did see this huge aftermarket move and really end of the day move, but really the market did not explode, or we didn't see this move on Friday, the entirety of it, but rather it shot up. So SPY is approaching some crazy levels. The reason that I highlight this is where we were in February before the big downfall, and we're already right at $10 lower than that. This is a huge level for us because many companies are not doing well. However, we've got a few that are absolutely killing it, and they are bringing the market up, as well as just consumer optimism on the broader investing base is continuing to bring the market up as well. And that broadly leads me into what is currently going on in the market. So the first stock that I want to highlight is Microsoft. For those of you who are not aware, Microsoft is in talks to potentially be purchasing TikTok, which is an incredibly popular social media platform. And I think it's going to be huge should this happen. And this is the stock that I was able to capitalize pretty nicely off an options trade, and I'll show you how I did that at the end of this video. But this is a stock that is seeing explosive growth. Again, we're seeing right at 5% over the course of today, 5.5%. The bulk of this came today. Again, this is them over time. You can see that this move came on the tail end of watching a number of the biggest tech earners announce earnings last Thursday, and they all absolutely killed it. So we're watching that happen now. The other stock that is of particular importance that I want to highlight is Apple. And they announced last week that they will be undergoing a 4-for-1 stock split. Today, 2.5%. Big move for them, but not crazy or out of the ordinary. What's more impressive was this move right here. So immediately following that announcement, we saw a move there at the end of the day from 384 all the way up to 404, and then on Friday they ended up the day, I think at the end of the day they really were closer to this number right here around 325. Insane. So what a stock split is essentially what we're going to see is Apple's, for every 1 share of Apple you currently own, you're going to then own 4 of them at that reduced price. So if Apple was at $400, you would then own 4 shares of Apple at $100 a piece. One thing that I want to highlight is if you're trading options, a put option does not work in this scenario. So if you go all the way down here, which I would be surprised, yeah, you can't even get down to that level. These don't work. This does not work. You're not going to game the system by going down and buying puts for under $100 a share, even out in the future. I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that so they don't go out and waste their money doing so, particularly when this changes. That being said, Apple is a huge component of the marketplace, in particular SPY, in particular the Dow. So this is going to have an effect on those indices. At this point in time, it's going to be difficult to determine what is that effect. But the resurgence of tech stocks is insane. We just looked at Microsoft. You see Apple, and then Facebook is on a tear as well. So we are seeing a lot of moves by tech. This is just something I would highlight in the broader market space that I anticipate continuing to see this. However, it can only go up so much. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you should stop buying shares. because again, investing over the long term is the safest way to invest. I do want to encourage you though to be careful when you are speculating and make sure that you keep that distinction between those two. So what am I looking going forward? What are the stocks to be watching? So the big unemployment number is coming out on Friday. We mentioned that in my video yesterday. What I am actually going to be looking at is Disney tomorrow, but we've got upcoming earnings. I want to be doing a continuation play off of these upcoming earnings. So the ones that I'm really going to be watching is Disney in particular. And the reason for that is because I think that their announcement as to how hard they suffered over the past 3 months is going to be huge for them. The other piece that I want to look at is what is their forecast for the end of the year. Again, this is one that could surprise based off revenue from Disney Plus. However, something I'm more interested in is how much they lost. So even if they surprise, it could bounce around, but I don't know if I'll be playing Disney from an options perspective. So this is just something that I am going to be watching tomorrow to see what happens and what the expectation there to go along with that is. So I'm interested in watching it, but now let's go into the exact tech continuation that I played for Microsoft. So as you can see here on the screen, and this is again my TD Ameritrade account, which I have said before that I'm really switching over the bulk of the portfolio from Robinhood to TD Ameritrade. As you can see, I purchased 2 Microsoft calls this morning at 85 cents a share, and I sold one of them for $335 a share. The reason that I did not sell both of them is because I wanted to make the play free and I got some profit. So now I do think that we may see a move from Microsoft overnight. As people come home, they read the news, they see what's going on. There was some positive sentiment from President Trump today surrounding the potential purchase of TikTok by Microsoft. So I think that that could go higher. However, I also recognize that I need to ride the momentum because unless it really explodes past 220, then I'm not really going to get that much bang for my buck because this is a weekly. Now, the reason that I purchased this is because I did the exact same thing that I highlighted in my video on Friday on how to play earnings and in particular stocks that can move. So let's take a look at those charts. So as you can see here on the screen, I have my selected account and I have Microsoft stock, and you can see that the big move came at the beginning of the day. So it actually opened up pretty substantially higher than it was even but a week ago, and you can see that represented here. So look at this volume just to start off the day. So it actually opened up about 3% higher than where it was at the end of the day this past Friday. So it is important to be watching that just as an indicator. Today this video is coming out. It is August 3rd, Monday afternoon-evening. What I did, and for those of you who are new to this, I am actually using Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade as I continue to migrate from Robinhood. So on this initial buy up, I purchased those 2 for 85 cents and saw this immediate rise up. And that I thought about selling right then and there because they were going for like $2.40 a share, but I just let it ride. And at this point in time, I actually was able to catch the top is when I sold that call. So that's what I was looking at. That's what I was able to perform. This is an all-time high for Microsoft. The key thing that I want to iterate here is whenever there's big news, there's going to be a big shoot up at the beginning of the day. It can be difficult to buy during that point in time because those prices are going to be very wide spreads. This is one of the reasons why I've shifted over into Thinkorswim, just because it gives a lot more information concerning what people are buying, what the spreads are, and you don't get caught out like I was doing on Robinhood. So I was paying a lot more than I should have been on some trades. So what does this mean for this remaining share? So as you can see right now, my option contract is currently priced in at $251. Reminder that I did purchase this for $85. So I already have that profit right there if I can sell it. However, this is what I'm targeting. This is another feature that I really like about Thinkorswim is this is my potential profit. You can see that this blue line here on the screen is the profit loss as of today. However, the green one is at close. So at this point in time, I am in this play for free and a bit of a profit due to the fact that I have already sold one of these call options and used it to pay for both of them, then some. What I'm looking at here is the capability to really win big on some of those. So as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen right here, that I do have the capability to, if it finishes over 220, I believe it's 220.85 is when I'll start profiting. However, again, I'm already above that because of this blue line. This is where we're at. So what I need to do, or what I'd like to see, if it hits 222, I will be a very happy person. But anything higher than that is where I can really come into the money. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Microsoft to hit 225 or 230 by the end of this week. If it does, I will be a very happy person, but at the same time, this is at risk because, again, all that needs to happen is the president needs to say something negative about this trade, or China has to say, no, you can't buy this. So there's still a lot of factors at play, but it's one that I'm going to be watching, and I'm in effectively risk-free. So this is some of the ways that you can utilize your options trade, is to watch for this move right here. You don't always catch it. The key thing I would recommend is don't chase this, because again, you do have a lot of people that say, hey, when you're up from $100 to $200, I'll go ahead and sell. And then for the most of the day, you may just see it flatline, or you see some of that volatility go away. Again, this is just my advice, and I am by no means a financial advisor, but we're checking it out. I am hopeful to see this continue to perform in a positive way, and I hope that you're able to replicate this type of performance. So thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, please drop a like and subscribe down below.